This week on Salvage Squad, we're on a farm in Wiltshire, and just behind this barn we have an amazing amphibious vehicle called the Alvis Stalwart, although it's known more affectionately in the army and by its owner Ross Watley as the Stolly. Hello? Anyone home?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, the flower pot men and woman over there. Hello Ross.
Hello mate.
You want to come down, mate?
Oh, I will do.
Do you need a hand?
Oh no, I'm
going to stand away in case you splash as you come down. Go on, off you get.
3 months of practice.
There you go.
Yeah.
When you say that you've always wanted one of these, I mean, since when?
I guess since when I was a kid, really. Somebody bought me a little tiny toy. I think I've got one somewhere. There you go. This is it. The actual original little tiny matchbox Stalwart.
So you were bought this when you as a child, and you just thought, I want one of those when I get.
I mean, it was just an incredible little wagon. I mean, I looked at it and I thought, well, where's the door? So the doors are on the roof, right, and then the cover doesn't go right to the back.
The door, you going from the top?
Oh yeah, it's an adult climbing frame, this wagon.
Ross bought his climbing frame for 1,500 quid 3 months ago. The three kids who are going to fix it, our salvage squad, Jerry, Claire and Axel, are already in the back trying to make sense of its very odd engine.
I mean, does anybody check that this actually still works?
And while they get all technical, Ross, the owner, is getting arty.
The aesthetics are incredible. When you
think this is nice looking?
I do. The way that when it's in the sunshine, the light catches it brilliantly. It's true.
It does.
Okay. It just looks cute to me. It just does.
Now, for those of you with a military bent, the words cute and stolly won't mix. What we have here is one of your army's cleverest fighting vehicles, 8 tons of truck that can float. The idea's sound. Enemy blows up your bridges and you raise 2 fingers and swim across instead. It's an idea we Brits first had during World War I, when we started experimenting with odd-looking beasts like this, called the Mark 9 Duck. Between the wars, everyone was getting in on the act. The Germans came up with this rather natty staff car, just in case the High Command needed to nip across the channel. While the Yanks started with this amphibious coach, before going on to make around 18,000 of these landing vehicles used mainly in the Pacific War. Our Stolly was a bit of a latecomer, first dipping her wheels into the water in 1960. The army bought about 1,000 of them, mainly for use in northern Germany. They were made by Alvis, a company famous for its luxury cars, and for this, the Saracen armoured car. It all started when some bright spark in the company came up with a clever wheeze of taking a basic chassis of the Saracen and using it first as an airport fire tender, the Salamander, and then thought, I bet I could make it float, and came up with the Stolly. On land, she's a butch 6-wheel drive truck, but rev up her 6.5 litre engine and point her at some water and she jumps right on in. Her engine switching from powering the wheels to powering 2 propellers hidden in tubes deep within her hull. They suck in water from the sides and blast it out of the back, turning the Stolly into an 8-ton jet boat.
Is it potentially still amphibious though?
Well, sadly it isn't. The army took all the swimming kit off them in the early 1980s.
Right.
Probably to, on the one hand, to save money and to stop people sinking them more than swimming them. So there you go.
Would you like us to try and get that back on?
If you could find the swimming kit, that would be wonderful. That's the main components that are missing from it.
Swimming Stollies was always a fun thing to do. Legend has it, one young squaddy even got so excited he nicked one and tried to swim the channel in it. But keeping them on the water was costing the army a fortune, and in 1981 the penny pinchers at the top sent out orders to double her water jets. And since then they've been nothing more than a butch landlubber's truck. Indeed, there is a good chance that ours has never swum in its entire life.
Listen up guys, you've had a look. What do you think? Cool. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Automatically, you can make a big difference very quickly. You know.
Yeah,
curtains, curtains there, maybe a small chaise
got
longue.
the cooker already.
Mechanically,
I'm more concerned
it's a
about
bit more
swimming
complicated.
gear.
Swimming gear.
Where is it? How do we get it?
And I don't want to see you in Speedos as well, it's the other concern.
Now, fixing a beast like this ain't a job for the local garage, so we're going to join the men who know. For the next 6 days, our squad will be squaddies under the command of Major Ben Archer of the Royal Artillery.
It's a runner and it's going.
His orders are to take the Stolly to his base, the Army's Fighting Vehicle Maintenance School at Bovington in Dorset. where he and his new platoon, the salvage squad, have 1 week to make her as good as new. She'll then be put through her paces in front of Major Ben's commanding officer and men, by first bombing through the world's biggest mud bath, before finally driving her into a lake at 20 miles per hour. If the salvage squad's work isn't up to the challenge, Major Ben will be the disgrace of his regiment. As soon as his precious Stolly is off on the truck, Ross is back at work. He calls himself an industrial sculptor, which means if you've cracked open your curvy fiberglass sports car, he'll make her again. But when it comes to mechanics, he's a bit green. Being an arty type, seems to think the squad will have no problems.
Today, actually, I walk around the corner and see the refurbished stalwart. It's going to be the most brilliant, amazing day. I'm really looking forward to it because Salvage Squad, you know, I'm sure will have done an absolutely brilliant job on it. And I'm just dying to drive it up to the lake, really, which would be wonderful.
For all Ross's optimism, the squad know they've got their work cut out. That evening, the Stolly arrives at the operating theatre, and the Major gets out his pointer to take the squaddies through the finer points of the Stolly. And it's as we thought. Half the components for a water jets are missing.
To the vehicle. Here we have the 2 water propulsion units. They're made by Doughty, and they're powered by the engine PTO there, power takeoff. And there should be a shaft that goes from there to a bevel box here, and then from the bevel box another shaft that goes to here. And that's the same both sides. So they're missing.
How easy are these to come by?
Well, that's the problem. They're not easy.
So as day 1 draws to a close, the squad are faced with a half-wrecked truck to turn into a jet boat in a week. If the honour of the regiment is to be upheld, Claire will have to don a bunny suit. Axel will have to accompany Major Ben on some nighttime manoeuvres. Jerry will come up short. And even I'm going to get involved, entering the murky world of the arms dealers. We've got to repair the Stolly's waterproof seals, find and refit the missing parts to her water jets, rebuild her aquatic steering system, and give her a good coat of army olive drab.
Ross has given me the service record to his stalwart, and we can see from this that it was involved with the 2nd Field Regiment of Royal Artillery. So I've come to the British Forces radio station to see if they can broadcast an appeal to try and find out anybody who was involved with our stalwart.
British Forces Broadcasting Service is listened to by soldiers around the world, and with any luck, someone tuned in to Adam Gilchrist and Vicky Turner's show will remember our Stolly.
Vicky and Adam on Connect 2002.
This Stolly, you're trying to find all the blokes who were with it basically in the late 70s, early 80s?
Anybody involved who may, or well, may even have driven that, or you know somebody who drove it. Or
so anyone with any story whatsoever connected with this Stolly. The registration number is 18ET03. If you do know anything whatsoever, if you've got any stories connected with this vehicle, tell us about them and we'll pass them on to Lee and his new show.
And the radio, we'd like that back as well.
You can contact us here, connect@bfbs.com.
While I was putting out the call for Stolly drivers, the squad were starting their 2nd day in Major Ben's platoon. Before they can even think about taking this ropey old Stolly swimming, they're going to have to make sure she can handle dry land.
OK, let's try and start her up.
At the wheel is Sergeant Major Paul Reed, a Stolly veteran drafted in to help with the restoration. The engine sounds a treat, but so it should at 3.5 miles to the gallon. The Sergeant Major's problems start when he tries to stop.